All right. We're live, I guess. Does somebody want to do the introductions here? Because I don't want to do them. Joined by Calvert, joined by Goldberg. One of you yahoos want to talk about the amazing race that was this past week? I don't want to talk about it.
I think only one of us had a team that they picked to win that got eliminated, and I don't really want to do the eulogy for you. Calvert, you want to do the eulogy for him, or?
Oh, you tried. There you
go. He tried.
So wait a sec. Before we go on any further here, Goldberg, where did you have Todd and Ashley starting it? Where'd you have them finishing?
Like 11.
When you started 12.
Yeah. I don't think I had them dead last, but
it wasn't dead last, but it was pretty freaking. It was
low. It was dang close.
Yep.
And
I was right. They did finish last, just not in the first 7 legs.
No, they finished fifth. They finished fifth like 20 times throughout the season.
That's true.
So
that's true.
Why not?
But there's also there's a popular saying: if you're not first, you're last. So
that is true.
That's true.
That's a good one. Spoiler, Mr. Spoiler.
Well, wait a minute. We'll save
shenanigans.
We'll save that for the courtroom.
Shenanigans.
Throwing my referee flag. Boom.
We're saving that for later. I have a defense team coming in.
Oh, fantastic!
And that person may or may not be a producer on the show.
Calbert, was your nickname the lawyer?
It was the lawyer. That's true.
Well, I guess you could plead your case to Calbert tonight because he is a lawyer.
I will. Today's the judge.
Yeah, he's going to be.
You're the prosecutor.
I thought he was the jury.
Hold on. Let's not forget here. Just let's go back to just last season when you tried this. You wanted to do a repick, if I remember correctly.
Yes, he did. With Lulu and Lala. You wanted to repick.
That's right.
Yeah,
and I shot you down.
We did repick, and I stuck with them like a fool.
Yes.
Should have switched to the Holdernesses.
True.
I swear to goodness, if Joel and Garrett win this race,
well, then they owe me for picking them.
And I just might as well ask him what the winning lottery numbers are, because he's clearly better at this than we are.
There's no website for that. I mean,
that's right.
Spoiler, what's going on with the Tarstorian these days? I haven't seen him update anything. Is he still doing it?
He hasn't done anything for weeks, huh?
Yeah, he kind of dropped off.
Well, maybe we should do one. Maybe we could be the new Tarstorian, except we'll have we can't take his name, obviously, so we'll have to come up with something. What kind of name?
We could be the spoiler alerts.
Is this just going to be a running gag the whole episode, or
that would work? Actually, that's not. I've heard worse.
Right? It's not that. It's got a ring to it, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. I think we're going to be the spoiler alerts. Goldberg can tell us who's going to be in the top 3. He won't be able to tell us the winner, though.
I mean,
it's funny that you know that. But how do you know that you can only figure out the top 3? How would you know something like that?
And the reason why is because I had to find what you're looking at.
Okay, I'm saving this. For after the review.
Your lawyer's in town yet?
He's going to join us at the end of the episode.
Okay. All right.
Wait a minute.
Let's review.
Hold on. Flag.
Let's review.
They got a Wikipedia page up there, but they don't update it until the end. Usually, until the end of the episode. So
yeah.
Wait, I've been spending hours watching this show.
Yeah.
And I could just picked a team and went, I think that's a good one.
Well, you got place before.
That's true.
You did get second last season. You got third, and it just all happens that you got 13th this season. I mean, what?
The first year they do it. Fantastic.
Yep, it's never been done. And Goldberg, did you listen to Sheridan? And
I did. I almost fell asleep on the drive home. Very dangerous. I wouldn't advise anyone to listen to that while you're driving.
Nope. It was very cringy. Very cringy.
They were okay with losing.
Yep. They were very okay. They were very defensive, I thought.
They swam in water for 6 hours as opposed to checking in. But it was okay. That was a little bit. I was being a little bit over exaggerating, but like they swam for a while. Like it got dark by the time they went and saw Phil. Probably grabbed some food.
All right, let's break down leg 10, shall we? So Goldberg, you want to say anything about leg 8 or 9 because you haven't been on the show?
Robin and Chelsea, I miss you.
I really think that was your actual pick, but then
they were just my feel good story. Like I wanted them to win, but
did you want them to win after you got to see them race?
No, I think when we were reading like the first episode, when we were reading like their story, I thought they had a nice, they had a nice background story. And we have to all agree on that.
And to the point, like I wasn't the biggest Robin Corey fan at the beginning of the year either, but then he told me that, one of them was deaf, and that kind of changed. That didn't necessarily change whether or not I thought they'd win, but it's a good story.
Yeah, it is, but they're definitely not the first. Rob's not the first deaf person to be on this show.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Sorry, Goldberg, I tried.
The title of the episode that we're about to review here on Amazing Reviews is called Everyone Loves a Comeback Story. Well, the team that said it didn't have a comeback story. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let's start it off, shall we? At the start of the leg, teams were instructed to travel by bus to Vienna, Austria, and then fly to Stockholm, Sweden. Once there, teams were instructed to travel by taxi to Stockholm's Fallskärm Club and grab a number. The next morning, teams retrieved their next clue and were instructed to skydive 10,000 feet over the Baltic Sea. After landing on the Djurgården, teams found their next clue. They had to travel on foot to Via Kalhagen and then by boat to the island of Tinigo in order to find their next clue. Skydiving, what do you guys think? Would you ever do skydiving? Let's just say you're not on the race, but would you go skydiving? Just in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Calvert would do it. Spoiler, Goldberg would not. I also would not do it. No. And there is one right by my house, actually, that does skydiving stuff. So I could do it. But yeah, I don't think I don't want to unless I'm on the race.
Even if it was the instructor with you, right? So the instructor would be a tandem.
Well, I get. I would obviously that would be the only way I would even ever do it, if I did it. But I love roller coasters. Love them. I love the mega ones at Cedar Point in Ohio. Absolutely love them. Something about skydiving where you're just free falling through the air. It's just not that appealing to me.
Okay.
I don't know. Something about it. But if I'm on the Amazing Race, yes. Let's just get it done with. That's what I'm thinking. Something to note here. Greg and John were the first to get there, but walked right past where they were supposed to get their number.
Yep.
Nothing like too crazy, but I don't know. I mean, is that a foretelling of what they're going to be like in the finale? Goldberg?
I don't think so. I think at this point, I mean, you mentioned before we started recording, you mentioned that you're concerned about
peaking tour.
Corey and Rob, that you think they're kind of falling off a little bit, right?
I think they are too. But I also think Greg and I've been saying it the last couple of weeks that I think Greg and John are peaking too early, and I feel like they're just. I thought they have 5 weeks in a row at number one. I just feel like they're due for some bad legs.
But you'd still have to say. I mean, what are you saying, that my team should be the favorite right now?
I mean, you knew that before we did this, But yes, I think your team is treading upwards. I don't know how, but they are. They're there.
Well, I mean, to be fair, let's just before we completely bury Craig and John, your team did miss the express pass on a very similar looking,
absolutely, and they're eliminated
piece for it. I mean,
if they didn't miss that, they might still be in the race.
They might. So I'm just saying, I buried all these teams about the attention to detail.
Well, I mean, Todd Nash did too. They missed the number 2.
Not the best,
but they came back and got it. But Robin Corey did too. So there's another one. I mean, they were. Well, we'll get there. I got a lot of hot takes in this episode. No, I mean not hot takes, but a lot of things to cover.
Lukewarm.
So in this legs roadblock, one team member had to construct a flower ring, attach it to a midsummer maypole, then raise the maypole and join the circle dance around it in order to receive their next clue. Rob and Corey used their express pass to bypass this roadblock. So let's talk.
And still got passed.
Well,
yes.
The lead that they thought they had wasn't really, because finding the front of a building is hard. I thought that was
yes, that is true.
I actually thought that was a good idea for them to use the pass there, because yes, it wouldn't necessarily be hard to put the wreath on the pole and all that, because you'd have people that would help you, but it's time consuming. So to me, it made sense.
Wait, is this where they saved Steve and Anna Lee from getting on a bus instead of?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's first, before we go there, let's talk about this roadblock here, because there's some things to talk about. Rob and Corey were in last place at this point. So I'm thinking they're using this because they're feeling the pressure. However, I do not think this was the smart move here. I think you wait till the very end. I think they were not in danger of getting eliminated. Even like they knew there probably was going to be a detour, like there always is. Wouldn't you have waited? I mean, they were very smart about to not use it until this leg, but
I think they had no choice. They had to use it. They had to use it at this point. I mean, in hindsight, sure. No, but
they could have used it at the detour.
They could have, but it theoretically makes sense for them, because they know that the pressure's on. Like, everyone has to do this. Let's try and get an advantage on them. It logically made sense to me. It logically made sense for them to use it there. In hindsight,
oh yeah, go.
They probably shouldn't have. They probably should have used it at the detour. But because how this was the absolute most stunning thing to me for this entire part, was not only do you not know where the front of the building is, which had lights on it that were blinking. So that's, you don't have to be able to speak the language to understand that that's probably the front of the building. But 2, to have to kind of struggle in finding a violin player, the only violin player that's in the entire building.
But the funny thing was that in this challenge, Ashley, remember that dancing challenge with the plates on top of your head?
Yeah.
Remember who was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna just get it right the first time, but I'm gonna take forever before I even go into it." Mm-hmm. I think the same thing happened here. She was too, and this is where it hurt my team. She was not forceful enough. You gotta you just gotta go for it. I don't care if you get it wrong, but you got to do it fast. And she was trying to be all careful and neat with it, but this is where it really killed.
But
everybody else to me was going a lot faster.
But she wasn't the only one to do that. Because
Joel or
Greg or John were like, oh, I thought it had to be kind of like pretty and look nice and all that. Oh, screw it. I'm just gonna put it together. Like,
well, they were the first team too to get off the skydive.
Right.
So they definitely got passed up here, but then they were able to kind of gain some ground from the debacle at the end. But
right.
I don't know. Do we want to say anything about this roadblock? Goldberg, you really haven't said much about this.
And not really, because no, not really. I don't have anything to say about this specific part.
Goldberg, you watch horror movies, right?
I love horror movies.
You ever heard of the movie Midsummer? It's kind of felt like Midsommar, but it's
yeah. No, I could picture that. I'm actually really good with the way things are spelled, and I could picture it in my head. Midsommar.
Yes. I was just wondering, like,
why
is that movie? I think was kind of like what this tradition was. It was like a cult type thing. I haven't seen it, but I was wondering if you saw it, if you could give any insight.
I have not seen it, and I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, could you pull that up and kind of verify if that's kind of like what this was? A little bit like from this tradition, because I think it was.
A couple traveled to Sweden to visit their friend's rural hometown, but what begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a cult.
Ah, yes. Okay. So I wasn't just making this up. Okay. I got to watch this movie though, because I've not seen it, but
it's not on any good app. Any app I have, at least.
It's probably.
Oh, wait. Actually, I do have Prime Video.
Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yeah.
Might be worth a watch.
Hmm.
Just putting that out there. Might have to put that after watching this.
I will say at this point, Steve and Anna Lee is like really impressive.
Yeah, I think she nailed that challenge, didn't she? She had a really good run there.
She totally nailed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she nailed it. I mean, Steve and Anna Lee are not a bad team. Like the only thing that makes them behind is because of Steve's, fatigue. Other than that, they've been a pretty impressive team. I mean, they did get U-turned as well.
Which trust me, she did not forget to remind us that they got U-turned.
Yes, she said that to Joel and Garrett.
Yeah, correct.
Oh,
correct. Yep.
All right. After the roadblock, teams had to travel by boat to Nybro Kajin and then search the Royal Dramatic Theater for a violinist with their next clue. They then had to travel by subway to Solna Centrum metro station in order to find their next clue. So, Calber, you were kind of talking about it. The theater was very obvious. Like, you could see it from the boat. Like, that wasn't the issue. I think the issue with Rob and Corey was the door was all the way on the end, and they were not, like, walking all the way to the end. If you saw, they were like,
right. Yeah,
we can't go upstairs. We can't go, we can't go over here.
Right.
They just, I don't know, that did not compute for them. So it was the main entrance, like, clearly, but they overthought it. And this is the part two. Let's talk about it since you brought it up. Let's talk about the subway versus a bus. Right?
So, to Goldberg's point, Stephen and Anna Lee actually get the clue before Rob and Corey do. And even though they've read the clue, they get on a bus. And to Corey's credit, which I don't know how somebody can say it without laughing at someone, because he says to Anna Lee, does this look like a subway to you?
Steve and Annalee would have sat on that bus for a while.
Absolutely. Which I
Good.
was like,
Yeah.
in my head out loud as I'm yelling at it, just like I'm yelling at this game. Why help them? Why? You're in the last five.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that was dumb. I mean, Annalee wanted to work together. Like she said that.
Well, I can respect that.
But from their point of view, but from Rob and Corey's, I agree. They knew what the correct answer was, but yet they helped Annalee and Steve. I don't know why they did, but I mean, at this point, there's only 5 teams left. And Rob and Corey have not had a first place victory.
No.
And their lead after using the Express evaporated. Why would you help them out? I don't know. Goldberg, did you think that was a good move?
But do you think they made it like it happened on a whim, right? Like or didn't it? If I remember the scene correctly, like it wasn't like a really. Were they like doing it together?
Yeah, they were essentially doing it together, but where the downfall happened for Rob and Corey at this point is that they were still looking for the violinist. Stephen and Annalee had already found
Right.
That's where, yeah. So Rob and Corey were by themselves, but then they saw Annalee and Steve catch up to them. So they essentially they got caught up with them. Steve and Annalee wanted to work with them at that point, but Rob and Corey, they saw that Steve and Annalee got on the bus. They knew it was not the right place, but yet they still went in there, and then they still were.
It's a double-edged. It's a tough situation because I get working together there also. Like just like okay, there's 5 teams left. Let's the 2 of us work together and make sure we're 2 of the 4 that are left at the end of the leg. But I could also see the other side is there's only 5 teams left. Like I don't know if I think I'd be more inclined to work with somebody when there's 12 teams left, 10 teams left, 8 teams left. But when there's only 5,
yes.
I mean, screwing someone over at this point, the odds that catches back up to you is slim to none because there's only 2 legs left before the final is 3 teams guaranteed. So
right, which we that's the other 2.
I probably would have not helped them.
Yeah, well, and plus the thing I'm thinking of is they have not won a leg this whole season. They have no prize, no trips, no money. Like, wouldn't you want to at least get that? Like, at least you can say, "Oh, hey, I won this leg," and I at least got a trip out of it. Like Robin and Chelsea, like they got a prize for Pete's sake. Like,
wait, they haven't won a leg?
No, Robin and Corey have not won a leg.
Doesn't feel that way.
They had a lot of second place.
Well, Greg and John have been so dominant, like recently.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Right. Which is why they haven't won. I mean, they've gotten close to Hurl's point. Like, I mean, like even to the mat. Like they were racing against each other to the mat. But it's I mean, I like clearly Annalee holds on to grudges. So what's one more? Oh, I screwed you out of $1 million. Well, you were dumb to get on a bus and not on the subway.
Yeah, that was I don't how do you mess it up? Like I get there from like there's not a lot of subways in Texas.
Right. We talk because we text each other this morning. And that's and so this isn't going to be the first time that we hear the word subway. So like I know it's cliche for us to do this, but like read your clue all the way through, which clearly Rob and Corey have trouble doing apparently.
Yeah. Goldberg, let's talk about your team real quick on that roadblock. They took a decent amount of time, but since they were the first team off the skydive, they didn't really seem to affect them too much. I don't know. They were. I kind of figured that Todd and Ashley were getting eliminated once it took them. It seemed like forever to get from the end of the roadblock to the subway. Like
Yeah, this was the turning point in the episode.
It really was. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
where the cutoff came. Because I think if Rob and Corey didn't have the Express, I think it would have been a legit race between those two. Because Rob and Corey were not doing great either. But I really do think that it would have been intriguing had they not had their Express. But they did. And
Well, like you said, I mean, it really may have come down. Yeah, it could have come down to that. So you're right. The difference overall may have been that Todd and Ashley didn't go for the
Express.
Express pass in the prior episode. So
well, they did
maybe
not.
Well, they gave up after like a second, right? So.
Yeah, they did. You're right. But I mean, I'm saying even before that, when they just walked past the steps, they were the first team to get to those steps, and they completely went to the other side.
But then they did try it, didn't they?
They did, but then this was after the fact that Rob and Corey found it. Yes. Yeah. So yes, they could have.
We're not going to catch them, so let's just forget it.
Right.
There was chances to get that.
So that was probably their undoing right there.
Yeah, probably. Well, that and last week's leg.
I was going to say I think last week kind of started to kind of seal it a little bit.
Well, yeah, they were in second place and then made one terrible mistake and it cost them.
Right.
So, but then again, even getting like fourth in skydive, if they get third, maybe something changes. You never know. So, this leg's detour was a choice between sort or serve. In sort, teams had to sort a pile of trash into the correct receptacles in order to receive their next clue. In serve, one team member had to memorize 4 3-course noble banquet dinners and relay them to their partner, who had to find the correct dishes from a vast spread. Once all 4 noble laureates,
yeah. Nobel Prize winners.
Once all 4 Nobel laureates were served, teams received their next clue. Okay, sorry. Don't see that word often.
You're good. No, you're good.
And I know it was probably said in the episode 5 times, but I just didn't compute.
I'm helping. I'm here to help.
Yeah. just lend a hand. We all need somebody to lean on, right?
We're doing such a good job at this episode too. It's the first time. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Goldberg, I want to know what you're picking here. Sort or serve?
Well, if I'm I don't know which one it was, Greg or John. It was John, I think, right? Who did it? Was it John?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Greg and John did serve. Yeah.
They were the only one I think that picked serve,
correct,
right? And then it just so happens he spoke French, so
and spent the summer over there. How about that? I wouldn't guess that.
I would. I don't. Kind of a tough one. I'd probably pick sort. I mean, I know it's more physical, but I don't know. It's like one of those things where you're going to get it done. The other one, I don't know. I think I would have done sort.
If you were really good at memorization, I mean, some of these entrees had like 12 words to them.
Yeah,
and they're in French.
Yep, that's tough.
French. I don't know French, so I'm doing all day. Doing sort all day. Yeah. The only thing is, like, if you could like ace the serve task, you could maybe gain some ground. Like Todd and Ashley, even though they may have just got stuck there all night, I think the risk, they should have done serve. Or I'm not even saying Todd and Ashley, really. Any of the other teams, if you're behind, I think serve. If you could memorize the words, I think that was the faster challenge if you could get it quickly. I don't know. But do it sort though if I'm in the lead.
Yeah, it turned out to be. See, I'm also doing sort also because I don't speak French.
Yeah.
But my one caveat to that would be, like, even though I don't speak French, it is only 4 meals. So like, and he had the actual waiter like check to make sure that that it was right. So
Correct. It's only 4 meals and one, appetizer,
Yeah.
dinner or entree and a dessert. So
Yep.
I don't think I honestly don't. All you had to do was memorize like the first word,
which
and
is
then
essentially
remember the placement.
which is exactly what he did. Now, granted, that would be the other part that I would have issues with. It was like, okay, well, this word starts with a C and this word starts with an H, and then there's one that ends in an S.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they did it right. It was just like trying to put the order of the food. Now, granted, to their credit, like that's the way you do it. It's just when you're the waiter, making sure that you have it in the right order was the tricky part, I thought. But I'm also doing sort because, like, I mean, it's you're pretty much getting to throw stuff in a dumpster and watch it get crushed.
Yeah. Well, exactly. But I mean, the only thing was served. There was a lot of different plates, a lot of dishes on there. So yeah, it have been a little tough to like memorize maybe exactly like or like decipher what the plate was. But I don't know. I think like sort, yeah, you're gonna get it done. It's not gonna be hard, but serve, I think you could potentially gain ground on someone who does sort. Like if you're doing it at the same time, you could. I think you get ground there. But
Right.
anyways, Greg and John, the only team that did it. Not much to say. Do you want to say anything? Oh, Goldberg, did you like the wrestling reference from Joel and Garrett?
Wait, what was the reference?
Well, they said they were like they
Hulk
felt
Hogan.
like they were wrestlers like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Did they name drop them?
They
I
did.
missed this.
Yeah,
They dropped Hulk
Oh.
Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, now I'm glad I have a lot in common with these guys. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll grow a beard out.
I think try the mustache first.
But this is wait, this was again. This is the second time. I know we're about to get to it, but it's the second time that travel has benefited Joel and Garrett in this season.
Yes. Well, that's exactly right. Because after the detour, teams had to travel by taxi to Pampas Marina, search for their next clue by the MY Alba 2. Teams then had to travel by subway to the pit stop, Stromparteren. So this was the debacle with the first 3 teams with Steve Anna Lee, Greg and John, and Rob and Corey.
Right.
It seemed like whoever they asked was giving them a different direction, but I'm guessing somewhere along the way there was some lost in translation. So this allowed Joel and Garrett to steal the victory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Goldberg, your team first place victory for Joel and Garrett.
Well, I mean, I knew it was coming.
There it is.
He admits it.
Did you hear that?
He admits it.
Calvert, did you hear that? Did you have your recorder on like I told you before the show?
I did.
I knew it was a matter of time before that came out.
It only mattered to see.
All right. No, stop the tapes. I'm going to contact the offices of Tara Storian tomorrow. We're going to have a thorough investigation of Goldberg's past criminality.
And what makes you think Tara Storian is not my surprise attorney coming up?
Well, we could kind of pull this. We could pull an NCAA ruling here. I mean, and not wait 4 years to do it. We could strip him of all the wins that he's already had.
Oh, Calvert, I like your idea.
Whoa. Slow your roll, Calvert. I earned those. I earned those wins.
I don't know about that.
Wow. You knew it was coming, folks. You heard it. You could just replay the footage.
Nah. I said that on purpose.
I know you did. I know you did.
I have a case. I have a case to explain. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the.
You're gonna represent
once we
yourself.
finish this, I'm gonna state my case. I'm gonna state my case.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
I'm gonna call myself to the stand.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, he's gonna do it after we do our power rankings, all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Joel and Garrett.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question at this particular juncture. How does it take? How do 6 people not know where to go? That you went on a subway, and it's pretty much. It almost looks like the same subway that you went on to get to this point, and you thought that you could all run to the pit to. I don't know where they were going. I think they all thought, we'll just go to the mat because that's where we're at.
Yeah.
How does it? I'm only speaking of Rob and Corey because those are the only ones that I generally saw asking questions about how to get there.
I must say the Amazing Race editing team did a great job of giving me some false hope, even though I knew
100%.
Yeah, they but you know what though? In my head, sometimes stuff like this happens, but if it has no relevance to anything, they won't show it. Because you hear about these interviews of what they do, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't ever get shown, like Derek drinking the beer in Germany last season. They never showed that.
Sure.
So, but this had relevance because clearly Joel and Garrett passed them. So this was enough to shake them off and put those 3 teams behind Joel and Garrett. So I was thinking, well, if Joel and Garrett passed them, I think there's a shot maybe Todd and Ashley could pass them,
It really made sense because you have no idea. You had no idea where they were going, or B, how long it was going to take them to get there.
But also, I got to shut on Ashley a little bit. There was many a times where she could not carry her own backpack. And I just don't think she was hustling that hard. And
I'll give Todd a little bit of credit. Ashley pretty much threw in the towel when they were on the subway.
Yes. Yeah.
He was trying to coach her up and saying, you know what, hey, it's a great comeback story. We can, we got a shot, blah, blah, blah. Yes. If you're checked out, you're checked out.
Yeah, she was checked. Well, she said the detour was therapeutic for her.
Yeah. Right. So, you're right. Because you get to watch stuff get smashed. Absolutely. Yeah. So and throw tires and all that stuff. That's where the teaming up of Robin Corey and Stephen and Lee actually was beneficial. Because remember, they were essentially working together as 4 people as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Technically, yeah, you're right. It's definitely. Definitely do it. I get it. We've already kind of discussed it, but it's okay. I get it, but I just hate what was that 2 seasons ago with oh goodness, was it James? Was it the Mine 5? Right? Wasn't that James?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the season of nobody was likable that season. It was just
right. You hated,
the Mine 5, and then you saw how it imploded eventually. Right. But it was good to see, I guess. But I found nobody I wanted to win in that final leg. It's just ugh.
Right.
I got a question for you, Hurls. If we're gonna, are we talking about the placings now? Are we?
We're not quite there yet. We're almost.
This guy's really milking this for all it's. I'm your team is out. Let's just can we
Go ahead, Hurls. You're almost done, Hurls.
You know what? I got a lot to say tonight, Goldberg. Last week I didn't have a lot to say. It was just kind of a whole hum episode. So I'm making up for it.
Funny what happens when your team gets eliminated. I spent 2 minutes on mine.
Yeah,
exactly. My team's on there, but still.
Yeah. Joel Garrett, first place, Fluke. Second place, Greg and John. Third place, Robin Corey. Fourth place. Now here, I'm allowed to bring this up, right, Goldberg? Right? Can I bring this next point up?
I don't know. You didn't say it yet.
Anna Lee was running to the finish line. Her dad was maybe 10, 15 yards behind her. She goes, "Hurry, Dad. Todd and Ashley are right there. I'm like, what? Total fake out. I mean, she actually probably faked. I don't.
They
Was she?
weren't even on the same
Do you
block.
think they? Wait a minute. Do you think they told her to say that?
No, I think she said it to get her dad to like
to move his ass,
to move
basically.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she said
Because they weren't even on the same blocks with each other.
I bet they were at least a half hour behind. I bet it was probably something like that.
Right.
Do you guys how do you view Anna Lee too? Because she's getting a lot of hate in the Facebook comments on the Amazing Race page.
Well, it makes sense. She yells a lot, and
she's also stealing the show, though. She's become the star of the show.
Well, yeah, I mean,
in my opinion,
I agree with you, Goldberg. She has been the star of the show in many more ways than you would think. But Steve's good too, though. Like he's got some good. You get your ass back here, and I'll drive. I can't even see the sign. I can't even see Anna Lee. You get your ass. I'm gonna get your ass back here. So I think Steve needs to crack open a couple Steve Weisers and.
I find it hard to believe that Steve. How long is the filming for the show? Like 2-3 months?
Nah, 3 weeks. It's only 3 weeks.
You think he went 3 weeks without cracking open a nice cold one? Because I promise you, when he's home, he's having a couple beers every night. I promise you.
Not the places they went.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. Like, can they, like on their?
I doubt it.
On their rest breaks, can they crack?
I doubt it.
So they filmed from.
Can't they go like to the nearest bar by their hotel, or if they're in a hotel?
It was a little bit over, a little bit less than a month. Goldberg, June 13th through July 8th. So we'll say 3 weeks, just to save myself some simple math. We'll say 3 weeks. June 13th to July is what was the filming this year. So, right.
Yeah, I wonder if they ever are allowed to like do what they want. Like, I wonder if they have. Probably not. Who knows? You got me off track again. They're out.
Wait, he hasn't officially said it yet. Who came in last? Hurls?
You know what? That was actually Alexandra and Sheridan. They took 13th place, actually.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I think I owe Calvert another thank you for that one.
Merry Christmas.
Pick.
A wink, wink, and a nudge, nudge. All right, Todd and Ashley took 5th. You know how many 5th place finishes Todd and Ashley had? 1, 2,
hold the tape.
4, 5, 6 5th place finishes. So why not? Why not? End it out on 5th. Why not? So I don't know. Why not? You got to admit, though, Goldberg, throughout this season, Todd grew on you.
Okay. Here's my question for you. I've been saving this. Okay. Here's my question. Todd was an athlete, right?
Yes.
In his prime.
Yes.
He should have some competitiveness to him, you would think. Correct?
I know where you're going with this, and I have an answer.
He didn't care that they got eliminated. I want to see a team. You guys have been watching a lot longer than me. Has there ever been a team that crosses that finish line and gets told they're out, says fuck or shit or anything, no curse words, but damn it. I mean, God, we are like, everyone's got to be like, oh, well, we had a great time. We're just glad to be here. Was anyone actually upset?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Watch the early seasons. You had some epic meltdowns, and the guy that got the crushed ball. Remember him, Calvert?
Oh yeah.
He went off on a tangent. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That was the season where they drafted their partners. He went off and just cut a promo.
Right. Yeah, they were. He was.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was great. I wish. Okay, but Goldberg, come on, he was with his wife and they almost had a divorce. Like, I think that kind of takes the edge off of him a little bit. That's my opinion.
I mean, look, I'm not playing attorney or judge here at this particular juncture, but I gotta lean towards Goldberg a little bit. Like, that would be the point to have the competitive style, the competitiveness come out. You're on the subway, like, you know exactly what you have to do. Let's fucking
But
run.
who's gonna blame his wife? Because that was the reason they lost. Like, he's not gonna do that.
Well,
so at that point, he realizes there's nothing I can do. It's out of my hands, and that's it. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that if we
you want to
had
talk about last week, yes, you can put the blame on him, but that he was
that's exactly right. And or the week before when he had an oopsie with trying to get to the I'm sorry, and not the week before. I'm sorry. When they were self-driving, they screwed up. So
that was last week still.
Right, in Slovenia.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
all right.
So
that's enough about Todd and Ashley. We're not talking about them anymore.
Oh no, no, we are. So you're okay with the fact that he was okay being a loser?
Oh boy.
You know what? You thought Alexandra and Sheridan were a good team? Not you, Calvert. Goldberg. You were about to pick them.
You're welcome.
And my team's still in it.
That was your first pick.
You're welcome.
Alexandra and Sheridan was your first pick.
But wait, hold on. You telling me, all kidding aside, you wouldn't feel better if they crossed that finish line and Todd was actually pissed off that they lost? It would make me feel better about my pick.
Well, okay.
I would not be happy. No, I wouldn't be happy. But what are you gonna do? You're on national TV. You're not gonna go off on your wife and say we messed this up and it was all because you were so slow. And no.
Well, we've seen teams in
seasons
before.
You don't have to throw blame though. I just mean more of like, God, man, like I'm so like we were so close. All right, we finished top 5, but just somehow I don't know.
But you have to understand, they knew they were out probably an hour before that happened. So I'm sure
I could be in Goldberg's camp if you're this is gonna be stupid, but like if you're fourth or third, yeah, cool. All right, everybody's here, they're cheering for me. Damn, I finished third, which means I get absolutely nothing other than the experience of doing it.
Correct. Like, do you ever see in the last few seasons? Do you ever see like what maybe the volleyballers were they pissed when they got to the mat? I don't know.
No, you know who was? You know who was pissed was who finished second this season? The Holderness is one. Was that last season?
2 seasons ago.
Right.
Who finished last? I mean, in second.
That would have been.
I think it was 2 women.
Yes, the flight attendants.
Yeah,
the flight attendants.
I think they were upset. They got past the last puzzle when it was
at the tennis courts. Yeah.
I think they were pissed off. They were pretty pissed.
So there you go.
That was the finish line, so they didn't really have a chance to like really be
right.
upset.
They didn't have because it was right there. They just had to do the puzzle and then they could cross it.
Yeah, and they got passed like at that moment, and because the mother Holderness remembered like everything, and now I notice people taking notes throughout the season.
Yes, that's one thing to do.
Garrett and Joel are doing it and forgot their notebook and went back to get it.
Yep, and
skipped down the road while they did it. Yes,
it's going to help them now.
And I don't want to give anything away, but that may or may not benefit.
That may come back into play to help them. Oh, geez, they're so slow though, but they're good at. I mean that notebook.
Dude, when you weasel your way to the Final Four, right? Because they weren't that impressive the whole season. Now anything's possible. Like now they're in first. I'm sure it'll be a reset for the Final Four teams. But do you guys still say there's going to be a non-elimination leg? Is that coming up?
No.
So we're out of that.
In fact, Phil said that this episode there will be eliminations from here on out. So meaning next week when they go to Dublin, or I'm sorry, not next week, Wednesday when they go to Dublin, someone's getting eliminated.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go from 4-3 is basically essentially what's gonna happen. It's gonna go from 4-3, and then we'll see. I can tell you where they're going for the finale, but why?
Yeah. All right. What do you rate this episode, Goldberg? Out of 10.
Well, your team's out, so it's probably a 10.
Oh, I can't wait for that finale. Calbert, what do you rate this?
Wait, I was being facetious. This episode was not a 10 at all, actually.
Wow.
It was
How'd
like
do that,
like a
honestly?
6.5, 7.
Oh, wow.
I gave it a 6. I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
I realize for your rating it that there is no number for this. We're into the negatives at this point in your head, but there wasn't really a whole lot. There wasn't really a whole lot of drama. So, okay, Greg and John looked kind of human this week.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Right. And well, the debacle at the end was kind of entertaining. I give it a 7. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, the detour was okay, but I think the penultimate leg next week's going to be good because they always have good penultimate legs. Like the challenges are not easy usually. So,
right.
All right, let's do power rankings. Goldberg, who do you got? Who do you got at 1?
Oh, we're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. 4th. Who do you got at 4th?
Okay. No, fourth. I have to go Stephen Anna Lee. I think overall, because now at this point, throughout the season, my rankings based week to week. But now I think when there's only 4 teams left, and I think it'll be a restart, and they'll all be caught up to each other at some point. I think I'm going to rank. Now I'm going whole season's worth of performance. So for me, Stephen and Annalee have been the worst of the 4 throughout the entire season.
Calvert, 4.
Not that he isn't wrong. However, it's a week-to-week power ranking for me. I have Joel and Garrett at 4 because I think they just got fucking lucky.
Did you actually have them 4th?
Yeah, I have them at 4.
You think Stephen and Annalee are better than Garrett?
It's a week-to-week thing. It's a week-to-week power ranking. This is my power ranking. You have your power ranking. This is mine.
It seems questionable.
Goldberg, I have a question for you. How many times did Joel and Garrett finish 9th?
9th?
9th place.
Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming 2, 3.
2 times. How many times did Steve and Annalee finish 9th?
What, none?
Correct.
Okay, so you're saying overall Joel and Garrett have been the worst of the 4.
Calbert, no, I'm not saying that, but Calbert, it's not like completely out of left field.
Hey, well, wait a minute. Who's your 4th team?
Yeah, you haven't given yours.
Well, my 4th my 4th is Steve and Annalee.
I thought so. Stop going to bat, all right, for Calvert.
Well, I'm just saying, like I'm trying to justify like his ranking isn't that out of left field.
No, all right. It's not. I mean, there's only 4 teams left. None of the rankings are out of left field anymore.
So what happens here? Steve runs out of gas. Is that what you're going to say for the next episode?
I just think the other 3 teams are better. 3 teams are better, and I think all 4 of them could be even time. And I think the other 3 just outperform them.
Yes, that's fair. Who you got at 3?
It is. I think it's tough. I really do. I'm not being biased. I think it's really tough at this point. And plus, you do have to take into consideration that Joel and Garrett are in 1st right now. So I'm actually going to go with Rob and Corey in 3rd. And you said it, Hurls. They've been slacking recently.
Yes.
So
yes, I think that was a fumble of the bag. Not being able to take 1st with the Express. Calvert, third place. Who do you got third?
Third, I have Stephen and Lee because I honestly believe Steve may actually either die of heat exhaustion and or a heart attack on this episode. Now, I could be prisoner of the moment with the preview. He sucking went hard trying to get to the car. From what we've seen, that ain't good.
I thought he was going to die in leg 2 or 3 when they were
right. So, I mean, are they the funny team? Sure. Because he sounds like Boomhauer, and Annalie just kind of yells and has vendettas and holds on to things. But we're at the point now where do I think we're at the point, we're down to 4. Do I think they can win? Maybe, but I doubt it because of Steve. Because I really do. Somebody call him now. So I got them at 3.
You too. You just need to shut the hell up, man. Yeah. I got to prove my tank, man.
Thank
you. You haven't seen me race. Yeah, my 100% peak performance, man.
Right.
3. I'm gonna go Joel and Garrett. I mean, the body of work says it all. This is the team that stared at a million locks for about 3 hours. Somehow survived. Still don't know how they did it, but they did. But yeah, Joel and Garrett are third. Somehow that notebook will probably come into play and they'll win the whole damn thing, but they are my third place team. Goldberg, 2.
2, I'm going to go Joel and Garrett. This is, again, body of work. I think Joel and Garrett for 2.
2. Calvert, 2.
I have Rob and Corey. So, yeah, like, they think they made a mistake with using the express pass when they did. Okay, that's their choice. They have trouble reading the clues clearly. They don't read them all the way through, which is just mind-boggling. This is the second week in a row that they've done this, by the way. But I have them at 2.
Yeah, 2, I got Rob and Corey, but it's close with Joel and Garrett because they are slacking. They're falling down. I mean, honestly, at this point, I think it's Greg and John's race to lose. I think the problem with Greg and John, sometimes when they're, going full speed ahead, they do seem to miss some things, which could be a catastrophe for the final leg. But I think they're guaranteed to get there. But for now, Rob and Corey are at a 2, but it's very close with Joel and Garrett. All right. We all got Greg and John at 1. So let's just take turns saying why we think they're the best.
Well, for me, it's just body of work. I mean, they've been overall the best team all season. So,
and they're really freaking intelligent too.
Yeah, they're smart guys. I'm not. Do you think they're both gay? Is that an inappropriate question to ask? I don't know.
No, I don't think they're gay. I don't think they're gay.
You don't think either one of them?
I see what you mean. Yeah, they
have a little like Gator was buzzing a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, would it surprise me in 5 years maybe if one came out? And I'm sorry to say if they're listening and they're really offended. I don't want to, but
hey, I don't mean it in an offensive way at all.
Right. Yeah, they're kind of soft spoken. And
you guys Seinfeld fans?
I have nothing against it. I did not really watch it.
I wasn't a big fan of it, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow. No, there's just an episode about where like this woman thinks Jerry and George are gay, and the whole episode is.
Yeah.
You know that one?
I do know that one. Yeah.
It is one of the funniest episodes in the history of the show, and it's hilarious. Like, and every time they mention being gay, they're just like, not that there's anything wrong with that. The whole,
I'm more of a King of Queens guy, but
oh God, I love the King of Queens. I've seen every episode 100 times.
Yeah, I got the box set for like $40. I just pop it in from time to time.
So I have Greg and John at 1 because even when they screwed up with getting the number for the skydiving, like, didn't really seem to matter a whole heck of a lot. I mean, granted they feel bad, but like to Hurl's point, I think the only way that they don't win this thing is if they beat themselves.
Yeah, I mean it could happen, but I just think it's theirs to lose.
Right.
But they did. Yeah, they are human, so all it takes is one time. Okay.
Should I read about the episode before?
Yeah, read about the episode before Goldberg goes to takes himself on the stand.
All right. Teams traveled to Dublin, which we know, where they must complete 4 challenges in the penultimate leg, including swimming in the Irish Sea, dancing with the river dance trope, which is why we saw them dancing in the preview, scoring a point with the hurling team, and reciting quotes from a famed Irish novelist. So that's your episode. That's your episode.
Okay.
So,
all right, Goldberg. Let's take the stand here.
Okay. Well, what's you're the prosecutor. What's the problem here?
Well, you were called to the stand, sir. I mean, all right. You have came in and won the Amazing Race Pick'em 3 out of 4 times.
2.
No, I think it's been 3, hasn't it?
2 out of 3.
Has it only been 3 seasons?
Yeah, if he's considering, so I'm throwing a flag. I would say for him to win, he's picking last as far as the following season goes. So it depends on how you want to judge this, but
No, but I didn't pick the winning team all 3 times. I picked the winning team twice.
Right, you did not technically.
That's
right.
true. That's true. So you had Will and James.
Look at the prosecutor. He's already given in.
So wait. So Will and James, right?
Yeah.
That was that 31? 31? 32, you picked Lulu and Lala. Must have got some bad intel there. 33. No, it must have been 30. Will and James must have been 32 then. Then 33.
Yeah, Will and James were 32.
Okay.
Lulu and Lala were 33, and then
Derek and Claire were 30.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 out of 3 times. You have none of your picks are even close to like the similarities. Not even close. So what are you basing your picks on, first off?
Well, let's start with Will and James. For me, casino. No, either one of you.
Will and James?
No, you or Calvert. You ever been to a casino?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you remember the first time you ever went to a casino and maybe played blackjack?
Sure.
Never played blackjack at a casino.
Yep, I do.
Okay. Did you win the first time you went? Always win
yes.
the first time you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Always. So for me, Will and James was just dumb luck. Saw 2 guys. I always want to pick a male, or just played myself.
Objection.
So.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Okay, let's just call Will and James dumb luck. Let's just call them dumb luck. And Lulu and Lala were very masculine, so I mean, there's a chance, they could be considered a male team. They were like dudes. They look tough, but
is that why you had a infatuation with Robin and Chelsea?
they're a little dykey. But
Okay.
Derek and Claire, I think we all were high on them because they had the experience. They had the reality show experience. And I think that goes a long way. So we got to take out Derek and Claire from the equation because we all like them, did we not?
I hate it. Well, no, I
don't mean we like them. I mean, we thought they were going to,
yes.
We all were high on them.
Past experience. Yes.
So, I mean.
Okay, so where does Joel and Garrett find in this mix?
Calvert. That's where they lie in this mix. Calvert completely. Calvert pinned them right about them in his explanation of why he liked them in our first episode. And I think, Calvert, you said they were smart guys. You said
I did.
they are really smart. Like, they do not look like how they sound, and they're smart guys. So, I mean, I went with what Calbert thought. Like, he took my pick, so I took his.
All right.
then
The
it's your
jury has reached their verdict.
podcast.
That's
so-
it already? No, wait a minute. I'm not done. I got
Okay.
more. I got more.
Okay.
You're the one who knew teams, 3 teams, that they know who the final 3 teams are, but they don't know who the winner is. So if that's true, I did read a spoiler, which I didn't. I only have 3 chance of picking that team correctly. Correct?
You have. So you basically
If there's 12 teams
canceled,
when we start,
canceled out. No, you canceled out 10 other teams. So you have a 1 in 3 chance of winning.
Right. So you basically have a
If that.
33% chance, roughly.
Mm-hmm. That's a
okay, well,
it's high
yeah,
chance.
but that's no shoo-in.
Well, no.
I
but
still, even if I did read what you're saying I read, which I didn't,
Sure.
but even if I did, I still wouldn't know who the winner is.
Okay. But you increase your odds. Probably. I mean, what's 1 in 13? 1 divided by 13. What is that? I mean, you're going from that to 33%. I mean, that's pretty good. I like those odds. All right. No. Goldberg, let's just say a wrestling show comes out and it is not live. You are the first person to share said wrestling show results.
Well, I mean, I get them on Twitter. I mean, it just happened to show up on my Twitter feed. You know, when you read things and then you happen to like the post, then they show you more of what you've liked. That's the way algorithm works.
Okay. So, when you predict the NBA champion from the start of the season, since I've known you, how many of these have you gotten correct?
With my heart. I think every time.
Yes.
So,
yes,
actually, I think I picked the Clippers once. But
you did.
this year, I read the spoilers. Are going to win this year. Check my bookmarks. It's right next to the Amazing Race spoiler. I mean,
there it is. There it is. Okay. So, we know you like to read spoilers only because of.
But
First
I will.
off,
Wait a minute. Let me finish with a closing argument. All right, we got to wrap this up. So let me
Okay.
finish with a closing argument.
Okay.
Here's my closing argument. I actually recall bringing up this topic. I think it was season 1 with Will and James. Could have been, or maybe Lulu and Lala. But I think I brought it up to both of you, and I asked the question because I think I said the challenge has spoilers. Show that I like the challenge, and they have spoilers, and I don't know how they do it. I guess someone from production leaks results, but I remember asking you guys, how do they have spoilers and nobody leaks spoilers for Amazing Race? I think I asked that question. And Calbert, you have a good memory. Do you recall this conversation?
I do. And I believe my answer to this was, even though I also could have at least found out the results for the episode after it aired, it depends on the season, but there is a way to find out. Having said that, we also said as a group, from an integrity standpoint, that we would not. I'm not saying that you did, I'm accusing you, but I'm just saying that we would not use spoiler websites for the show, because that would kind of ruin the point of watching.
Correct. To the advantage, nobody knows who wins the Amazing Race because the last challenge is always closed off from the general public. So nobody will know. unless you were actually on the show.
Oh, I see. So
So
you're
yes,
saying public can see the because
public.
the finish line is always in its side of stadium or something like that.
Yeah, an empty stadium.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
The
That makes
the,
sense.
the Wikipedia page would even tell, like, if you were to go on the Amazing Race Wikipedia page right now, it would tell
Mhm.
you what state they finished in.
I see.
Yes, so they know that they know who's going to be the top three, but after that they can't follow along.
Well, if that's the case, wouldn't I have not picked Lululemon? Wouldn't I have switched off of them when I had my chance last season?
Oh, that's true. That's why I thought you had some bad intel.
Well, it happens. I mean, bad intel can happen.
I will say that the Amazing Race in the past has tried to confuse the spoilers because they would actually have eliminated teams run some of the tasks after they were eliminated just to confuse people. So, but I heard learned that on a podcast.
I'll be honest. Also, I hate the fact that the challenge has spoilers. I hate it because it's like with wrestling. Like, how do you not read them if you know they're out there?
Yeah. Well,
Hate it. However, these were out there, and apparently Earls does. So now we know next season he's going to know which three.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
now you played yourself.
So
here.
No, not objection. You're trying to turn this on me, and that's not the case. I have not.
You played yourself, and now we know for certain the team you pick next season. Why don't you just tell us who it is now? You probably already know.
No, I have no idea. What I was doing was some investigative research to try to see if I could find a said spoiler website.
Did you succeed?
It is not easy to find, but I was able, for the season, after my team was eliminated, I was able to find out. I found one site that did have them.
So if both our teams finished in the top three, you would have been fine with that.
Yes, I probably wouldn't have said anything.
I rest my case.
But that doesn't change the fact.
It's reeks of
you love wrestling spoilers. You don't win at the NBA pick'ems. So how are all of a sudden you batting 750? I just that's incredible. And
I'm not batting 750
if this is just
yet.
luck.
Not yet.
Okay.
You're assuming Joel and Garrett are going to win the whole thing.
You have a good chance to go 750. They win.
That's not true. I have a 25% chance as of right now.
As of right now, you do.
As of right now, it's a 25% chance.
Yep. So this is starting to sound like a Scott Steiner promo, but anyway.
Well, let's hear the judge. The judge. What does the judge and jury have to say, Calvert?
Well, honestly, that's actually what I thought. I really thought, especially after, even with the Lulu and Lala pick, I thought he must know something we don't know. He must be looking at something. But
what do you think? I took Lulu and Lala to throw you off my scent?
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
However, if Joel and Garrett do win, then that's incredibly lucky because of where they're sitting right now, even though they finished first.
And let's also take in the fact that he was a big fan of the Holdernesses, and I believe that would have been his other pick had he not taken Lulu and Lala.
You know what? That's a fair point.
So I will take credit for giving you basically essentially my team, or at least one of my picks for my team. I'll take it.
Here's my question. Here's my question for both of you. Wait a minute. Here's my question for both of you. If Joel and Garrett don't win and still finish in the top three, but don't win, you still think I'm guilty, correct?
I guess
the only way you don't think I'm guilty is if they get eliminated this tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah, I would lean towards shenanigans that are going on and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah. Tomfoolery.
Yeah. But look at it this way: how many teams total were in the race? 12, right?
13.
13.
Normally Currently, there's 12, right?
Correct.
11.
Technically 11. Yeah.
There has been 12 though.
Yeah.
Really, if you're claiming that that website has the top 3, right? So you don't really have to pick the winner. You just have to pick someone in the top 3 for you to think I'm guilty. And if there's only 12 teams, then that means I have a 1 in 4 chance of picking a team in the top 3. That's not that hard. Having a 25% chance to pick a team in the top 3, now it's a Scott Steiner promo. But if you think about it, that
Well,
it's
think
your
about it. You can already here. Now I really turn it into a promo.
Yeah,
25% chance of picking a team in the top 3 when there's 12 teams, which on average there's 12 teams. You can already on your own eliminate 3 or 4 of those teams because half of them look like shit before they even start. So now there's only 8 teams left. And if you're only picking 3,
yep, keep
3
going.
out of 8 chance. Now you got a 3.
Five.
Now you got a 3 and 8 chance to finish.
Right.
Pick one of the top 3 teams, which comes out to what? 40, what are we talking? 40%, 35, 40%? I mean, so really,
Yeah.
you got a 35, 40% chance of picking a team in the top 3. So really, you two should be in Paris for really not even getting close. I mean, if you think about it, it's almost easier to pick a team in the top 3 than it's not.
Which is how did I end the show last week? Charles, do you remember? I said this is really, really bad. If we've been watching the show since about season 18 or so, since we've been doing this podcast together, roughly. So that's 17 seasons later, and some fella off the street comes in and basically is whooping us in fantasy, which is all in fun at the end of the day because there's no money involved or anything. But
right,
that's pretty bad for us if some guy can just come off the, who's only been doing it for like 4 seasons and is pretty much essentially dominated. He's officially gotten the top pick for the next season, but he hasn't officially won yet. So, but I don't think it honestly matters because clearly he's better at this than we are. So,
well, Pearl's last opinion. What do you think about the promo I just cut? I mean, did that change your mind in any way?
It was pretty good, and we're gonna end this court session with a hung jury.
Damn.
I mean, you can if you want to put me on probation, I'm fine with that.
No, I'm not gonna put you on probation. Let's let the chips fall where they may, and let's see what happens.
Okay, I'm with it.
None of us know who's gonna win this, so let's see what happens.
Right? According to you think one of us know. Oh, no, right. None of us know. No matter what, none of us know.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this. I have never looked at spoilers before picking ever. And the one time I did win, it was because I've seen them race because it was an all-star season. So that was the one time I won. So I'll
close it with this. I don't think it would be fun to read a spoiler and know.
I agree. I
in
think it would
the
take
top.
the intrigue out.
It would take the intrigue out, but it also wouldn't be fun with the game we play of picking.
Right.
It just would take away the fun of it. Number one, and number two, Pearls. How do we know now that you found your magical website? How do we know you're not going to read it next season?
Nope. I have no idea what that website was. I stumbled upon it. I think
you bookmarked it right next to porn. We know it.
No, I did not do that. I don't even remember what it was called, actually. What I was trying to do was just to see if these actually exist, and they're very hard to find.
Or so you didn't really find a website, and you were lying to make it seem like you found one and try to get
time out. Since we're being honest and truthful, Hurls is correct. I have had to dig for it, but there was a season or two. I did not know who was going to win either.
Yes.
But I knew some of the results that would happen before the episode would air. But for integrity purposes, when we were doing picks, I never picked the team like that. So I'm not saying that you did that.
Right. Which I
Just
haven't, because
Right.
I would have won by now. No, I will never look at a spoiler. I can promise you that I will never do it, because it'll take the fun away, and it
I
just
agree.
wouldn't be the same. I don't think I would like the show as much anymore.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's
So-
why I will never do it. So and that's
There you
why
go.
I'm gonna take 4th and 5th place a lot, and you know.
I blew that promo. I blew it. I should have said I had a 33 and 1/3, but
I
33.
helped you out there. I did say you had 33 and a third. Heard that, but that's okay.
Well,
Right.
now that we had this therapy session, and who's ever left listening to this, I hope they were entertained. But we will be back next week. Any final comments, Calbert?
Council session will start up next week.
All right. Goldberg, any final comments after we have had this heart-to-heart conversation?
See you, Todd. See you, Ashley. Thanks for coming. Good job. Good effort.
That's right. And we will be back to discuss episode 11 of The Amazing Race. Good night, everyone.